Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is March the 20th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, top of the morning. It's 5 games on the board for today. We'll get into those, do a quick recap, talk about what jaXon like, go through a couple comments. Let's jump right into it for today. Yesterday, 1-1. Well, you could say 1-1 in one day. Biggest bet loses, which was Detroit minus the 5. Kay Cunningham hits a meaningless 3-pointer for me, but that does win the game for them. Miami offense looked a lot better than the 30th ranked offense last night. So get them credit. Chicago, the Bulls free diet that I was off of actually was the only one. Well, the winner yesterday won by a point. A half a point would have been a push, but they do get the job done. They covered the game against Phoenix last night. Big fourth quarter from them. And then Tyrese Halliburton played his double-double. And I didn't add it, but it was a push because he ended up not playing. So refunded there. So those were the 3 plays that I played. Of course, and it's been this way for maybe 4 days. The bigger bet, the bet that I feel the most confident in, has been the loser over the last maybe 3 or 4 days. So kind of just feel like we're treading water. Gave a little bit back last night, gave a little bit back the night before. Not big losing nights, but also not winning nights. So got to do a little bit better. The NBA does feel a little difficult to bet right now. Does feel a little bit difficult to bet right now, from my personal opinion. But let's jump into it for today, man. Let's see what we have here. Jared says, I'm glad I got the 6.5. Yeah, for sure. Something gotta put jaXon about the Cavs dropping 3 games in a row. Prolific says, yeah, they don't care. I don't think they care. I talked about this the other day. Drop a dimes. Morning, bro. He says, after these last few games, I need a real life pacemaker to watch the Pacers play basketball. Sheesh. We're gonna talk about that game in just a second. Good morning, Adam. Says, I was thinking about Chris regretting that Bulls picked the whole time until they finally came back with the miracle cover. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls, man. That's why you don't bet them, though. That's why you don't bet them. But they did give me some money last night. Needed the Bulls last night. What up, Bryant? Says, what a day in Lake Town today. Yeah, we got another one against the Bucks, man. We kind of need this one too, and the Bucks have been struggling. Did see the Doc call like a little meeting with Giannis and Dame, and I don't know if that's gonna be enough to figure it out though. Justin says top of the morning. What up, Justin? Good morning. LJ says top of the morning. Lakers first quarter undeniable. Them boys are playing basketball early. I know you've been riding it, LJ. Shout out to you. I think it's 15-2 ATS last 17 or something like that. What up, GLB Bet says NBA a bit shaky for me this week. Yeah, same here. Been losing little bits though, not a lot, but just losing little bits. Good morning, Fear Elite. What's up, user? Pelicans came through on the money line. They did. I don't know what the Timberwolves were doing last night. Guess they'll get them back in the next one, though. Who knows, man? Who knows? Let's jump into it for today. So we'll start off with jaXon, as we always do, your AI sports betting companion, handicapper, and partner, buddy, whatever you want to call it. Today's prompt was on a total. Interested on a total. Interested on a total. So let's see. What did jaXon like yesterday? I forgot to even look to give a recap of what jaXon liked yesterday. jaXon liked, I can't remember what jaXon liked yesterday. Yeah, I'll see if I can go back. Maybe I'll find it in another window. Today's prompt though was, what is the best total bet in the NBA based on last 10 game advanced stats? And jaXon likes nothing. I don't even see. It's a game that best bet today NBA. I should have probably looked over. Okay, here we go. So jaXon likes the over between the Sacramento Kings and the Chicago Bulls. So it says, I'm looking like what? So it says both teams rank in the top half of the league in total points in their last 10 games. The Kings play at a fast pace and have a high offensive efficiency, while the Bulls have struggled defensively, allowing opponents to score heavily. The combination of the Sacramento's offensive firepower and the Chicago Bulls' defensive struggles make this a strong candidate for a high-scoring game. Over 234 is, I mean, there's some more analysis there as well, but over 234 is the play that jaXon likes the most, and that total has come down from 236, which is where it opened at. And we'll see if Zach LaVine comes back and plays. It makes it a really difficult game to handicap, if we're being honest. Also, Josh Giddey, but we'll talk about all that. Anyway, if you're interested in checking out jaXon, use the link in the promo as always to get 50% off. Also, go over there and just check it out for free. There is a free link as well. 5 free prompts per month. So that's what jaXon is looking at. As far as me, let's get into the games for today. First one up, we got the Brooklyn Nets and the Indiana Pacers. Game will be played in Indiana. Line at 9. I think it opened. I wrote down last night 9 as well. Hasn't really moved a lot at all. The total has moved a lot. Opened at 231.5 and it's come down to 220. Looks like 226.5 is the consensus right now. So a lot of money coming in on the under, and the spread not really moving a lot. I do see it dropping to 8.5, and if I'm playing, that's the way that I would want to play this game. We'll see if Halliburton actually plays or not. He didn't play last night. And on the Brooklyn Nets side of things, the reason why I haven't played this yet is because when I saw Cam Johnson pop up on the injury report, that kind of scared me just a tad bit. Scared me just a tad bit, if I'm being honest. But a couple reasons to like Brooklyn here. They are 21-14-1 against the number on the road. 5-1 ATS last 6. Indiana only 1-5 at ATS last 6, playing on the second leg of a back-to-back where they're 4-7 straight up, 2-9 against the spread. Indiana 16th rated offensively, 20th defensively when they're playing unrested, so their defense doesn't play as well. And you look at Brooklyn, they've played the second strongest strength of schedule over the last 5 games, back-to-back covers against the Boston Celtics, of course. And the Pacers are also 0-6 ATS as a favorite without rest. Losses outright to the Toronto Raptors. I'm sorry, losses ATS-wise to the Toronto Raptors, New Orleans Pelicans, this Brooklyn Nets team earlier this season, Portland, Washington, and Milwaukee. So I do think that Brooklyn is the right side. It makes it a little difficult when they don't have everybody, but I mean, how much do the Pacers really want to win by? We just saw them last night struggle against the Dallas Mavericks. So I don't think the Pacers are going to blow out the Brooklyn Nets. The problem here is the Brooklyn Nets transition defense. The Pacers want to get out and run. This is a defense that you can get out and run against. The Brooklyn Nets like to shoot a bunch of threes. The Pacers 3-point defense is typically pretty good. Brooklyn is a team that loves to shoot threes. They shoot threes like they're the Boston Celtics. They don't typically go in. Recently, they have been going in, and they've been able to keep the games close. They have been playing really hard for Coach Fernandez, specifically on the defensive end. And I think that they can slow the Pacers' offense down, especially if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't play. So, yeah, those are the things that kind of pointed me a little bit more towards a Brooklyn ATS bet rather than a side. Rather than a total. I had a lot of things on the under, but I don't think I'm going to touch the under, especially with it coming down. Handicapped the game before the total even came out yesterday. Didn't think it would open that high. I do think it's a little bit of an under game, but we'll see if Tyrese Halliburton even plays. It's hard to cap the game without knowing if Tyrese Halliburton is going to be in or not. As far as first quarter, I think that could be a Brooklyn spot. They just covered against Boston. I think they might have covered both games in the first quarter against Boston. They're the best first quarter ATS team in the league this season, 45-22-2 against the number. And it kind of feels like the Pacers may overlook them just the same way that they overlooked the Dallas Mavericks last night. The Brooklyn Nets are also the best first quarter ATS team on the road at 25-10-1 against the number. And you got the Pacers just 31-35-1 against the number this season in the first quarter, 15-14-1 against the number at home as well. So, I can see Brooklyn, potentially even winning the first quarter in this game. And then they've been kind of letting go of the rope as the game goes on a little bit longer. Player prop in this one, I do want to head over to Outlier really quickly, and then we'll go through the comments and move over to the next game. I'm looking at Zaire Williams in this game. I have not bet this yet, but it just kind of makes a lot of sense. So this is Outlier. There's a 7-day free link trial if you're interested in checking it out in the description of the video. So this is Zaire Williams. This is him filtered without Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson in the games. You can see that he has played 12 games without both Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas. And in those games, he's up and over in 5 of his 12, only 5 of the 12 games, but he's listed at 11.5. The prop is already pretty juiced to the over at -119. You can see here. And recently, he's just been shooting the basketball. This is what I like down here. So you can see his field goal attempts, right? 8.9 attempts without Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas on the floor. So this season, in games where he's had at least 9 shot attempts, he's shooting 42%, which you can see here, and playing 26 minutes. With 9 shot attempts, he's cashed 14 of his 23 games so far this season. That's right at 61%. makes it a profitable look. And with 26 minutes, he's cashed the over in 54% of his games, 54% of his 24 games this season, whether Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas play or not. So I do think that the shot attempts will be there for Zion Williams. He's a guy that, can, of course, he can shoot the basketball, but he does get a lot of his points in the paint, in the restricted area. And I think that that's where you want to attack the Pacers, is getting downhill. So not sure if I'll take the points with the Brooklyn Nets, if I'll play Brooklyn first quarter, play him early, or just bet on Zion Williams to go up and over his points prop. But this is the way that those are the three ways that I will be looking to play this game. And I'll probably play one of them, probably a smaller play. I don't feel overly confident about any of them, but if I'm playing, those are the ways that I'm thinking about playing this game specifically. So let's go through the comments real quick, and then we'll move over to the next game. But that's the way that I'm looking in this one. So let's see. What up, user? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, it's a fact, Perry. They ain't pack it in yet. We'll see what the Timberwolves do. They got a rematch. I think on maybe tomorrow, or I think it's tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Those two teams play again. Also, this Brooklyn Nets and Pacers game, I forgot to mention this. They got a rematch as well. Saturday, these two teams play again, and that game is going to be in Indiana again. So front leg of a little back-to-back, not back-to-back series, not back-to-back as far as days played. What up, James? Says, can you ask Jackson best player prop of the day today? I might be able to do that for you. I'll come back to it. Yeah, I'll do that for you. I'll come back to that, James. We'll let it load. Let's see what else we saying here. Detroit basketball, they ain't doing enough for me last night. Lake Show. Adam says Jackson picked Holly over his assist. That's what it was. 9.5 minus 136. That's what it was. And it was a push. So did not play the game, of course. Let's see. Obviously he didn't play. So Jackson got, yeah. Okay. What else we talking about here? What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Brooklyn plus the 9 for Bryant. 2-9 on back-to-backs. I like to hear that. Yeah, I think Brooklyn could keep this game close, even without a couple of their main pieces for sure. The problem is, like I said, Brooklyn. Couple of things work against Brooklyn here. Their transition defense is terrible. The Pacers like to get out and push, and the Boston Celtics play the total opposite, right? And then the Brooklyn Nets shoot a lot of threes. They really rely on their three-point shooting. The Pacers' three-point defense has actually been pretty solid. Tariq says, good morning, Chris. Just how I'm doing. Jumped on the Pistons money line live. Betting is stressful. It's a fact. It absolutely is. Cavs live took my money. Yeah, the Cavs, I don't know, man. Kind of packed it in. I feel like they care right now. DJ Prop says, good morning, Chris. Had any idea for the King of the Court promo yesterday. Can't wait to see how much in bonus bets I get this morning on DK. Love to hear that. What's up, Jose? Appreciate you for tapping in as well, as always. All right, so going back to this comment, who asked about that? It was somebody asked about James right here. Says, what's the best player prop for today? So Jackson likes Kobe White over his points and rebounds, over 27.5. Says, given his exceptional hit rate, favorable matchup, and consistent performance. If you're looking for additional options, Jackson also likes Miles Bridges, Kevin Porter Jr., and Tyrese Halliburton if they're present. So, yeah, Kobe White has hit the over on his points plus rebounds in 9 of his last 10 games. He's hit it 100% of the time in his last 5 games. It makes sense if Josh Giddey may not play. We'll see if Josh Giddey actually plays today. All right, let's move over to the next one. Already too much time on that game. We got the Knicks and the Hornets up next. This line, 7.5. It looks like it's consensus. Last night in my notes, I wrote 9. So the line has come down in favor of the Charlotte Hornets. Man, it feels like it's crazy to bet the Charlotte Hornets. I know the Knicks are on the second leg of a back-to-back. I know they've been tragic on the second leg of a back-to-back. I kind of leaned under. But the Charlotte Hornets defense has been so bad. I know the Knicks offense didn't look good last night. This total has come down a lot from 225.5 down to 222. So the books are taking money on the under, and yeah, I would agree. What I wrote in my notes yesterday is that the only thing that makes me like the Knicks here is a potential bounce back spot. Maybe like you lose to San Antonio. I'm not sure how you do that when the San Antonio defense is one of the worst in the NBA. And now you get a very bad offense and a really bad defense as well. The Knicks have beaten the Charlotte Hornets 6 straight times. They've covered 5 straight spreads. So we'll see if anybody pops up on the injury report for the Knicks. I don't think that there will be. LaMelo and Miles Bridges did miss the last game. They both will return, and they lost by 30 in that game. Desperately need those guys back on the floor, or Charlotte Hornets players may not even come. The fans may not even show up for this team. So Diabate is listed as questionable. Josh Okogie continues to be out. On the Charlotte side, you do got a Knicks team. Well, if you like Charlotte, you like that the Knicks are 1-8-1 against the spread when they're playing unrested, kind of like the Pacers. Both of these teams really, really struggle when they're playing unrested. The Charlotte Hornets are actually 7-3-1 against the spread when they're playing against an unrested opponent. So they have covered these games where they playing against, teams that don't have any rest at all. The Knicks are the 5th best offense and the 7th worst defense on the full season playing unrested. So the defense struggles. Their offense is still good, but a lot of those games, of course, had Jalen Brunson in there. As far as the under, what I wrote in my notes, Knicks' last 5 games have taken a lot of their shots in the paint before last night, and at the 9th best field goal percentage. And Charlotte, who hasn't played good defense by any stretch defensively, has been solid versus teams that attack the rim a lot. They're 12th in opponent frequency and 15th in opponent rim accuracy. While the Knicks are hot right now and shooting the 3-point shot really, really well, they're not shooting a lot. They're actually shooting the fewest 3-point shots the New York Knicks are. Both teams are 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. Charlotte on the first leg of a back-to-back with a game in OKC tomorrow. They're 7-4-1 to the under. Playing on the first leg of back-to-backs. The Knicks had been the 3rd best defensive rated team last 5 games, and that was against the 10th strongest strength of schedule. They were only allowing 102 points per game in their last 5. Versus the 112 on the full season. Of course, that number got inflated last night. They gave up 120 to the Spurs. So what I was looking at in this game was the under, of course. And then I was also looking at Josh Hart. I'm not gonna bring it up on the screen right now, but Josh Hart up and over his rebounds and assists is what I was looking at. The number is 15.5. I do kind of feel like Charlotte coming off that big loss. I think they lost by 30 to the Atlanta Hawks the other night. With LaMelo and Miles Bridges back, I do expect this game to be a little bit more competitive. The Knicks, with Brunson went into Charlotte earlier and struggled. I remember that game almost going to overtime. So I know the Knicks will probably be fired up here, but then again, it's still Charlotte. So Charlotte got a lot to play for. I guess they do, especially after losing by 30, getting 2 of their starters back. But I do kind of feel like Josh Hart. I say all that to say I think the game's going to be competitive. Without Brunson in the game, Josh Hart's averaging 19 rebounds and assists in the 7 games. Charlotte is a team that, of course, misses a ton of shots, expecting some defensive aggression for the Knicks. Should be a lot of rebound opportunities. And if you look at the numbers for Josh Hart, he has become the point guard for the Knicks since Brunson has went down. He's went up and over his 6.5 assists in 5 of the 7 games that he's played without Brunson, including last night against the San Antonio Spurs. This line's already up to 16.5 on some books. So I do like Josh Hart up and over. I think the best number you can get is on FanDuel right now for Josh Hart up and over his 15.5 rebounds and assists. I think that he can go down there, grab some boards, and get some assists. I was also thinking about a 3-point shooter. I'm not sure if it's Miles McBride, if it's Mikal Bridges, but Charlotte has been absolutely atrocious 3-point defense. So somebody on the Knicks is going to hit 4 threes today. I'm just not sure who it's going to be. Maybe I'll take a little bit more time and try to figure that out. But I like Josh Hart up and over his rebounds and assists in this game if I'm betting anything here. Let's see if we have thoughts on this one. Under, Raekwon says, I can see that. Knicks playing slow. I could definitely see that. OJ says, nobody cares about this game. Adam says, how can you not take Charlotte after that stellar performance from the Knicks last night? Obviously need Ball and Bridges in. Yeah, they are probable for this game, but Lonzo was also probable. LaMelo was also probable in the last game as well, and he didn't play in that game. So we'll see if he plays in this one. He got downgraded in the middle of the day with a wrist injury. That's what's kind of going on with Charlotte. I wouldn't bet any of the games early. Cat over his 3-point prop, run it back again. I think that number is super inflated. I was looking at Cat. I think the number for Cat is over 2.5 today. I do think that somebody's going to hit the threes. I'm not sure if it's going to be Karl-Anthony Towns or not, but somebody's going to hit the threes today for the New York Knicks because Charlotte has been so bad guarding the 3-point line. Cat 3-point prop is 1.5. It's juiced at -137 right now. He has gone up and over in 6 straight games, 7 of his last 10. Karl-Anthony Towns 3-point prop, shooting 43% in his last 10 games. So I do like that look a lot. -137 is a little heavy on the juice, but maybe if you can find a better number, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a really good play. Brian says Charlotte first quarter full game plus the 7.5. The way I see it, but hard to put my money on it. Taylor says LaMelo over his 24.5 points. Scores 31% of his points as the pick and roll ball handler. The Knicks are the worst. I remember this. The worst against the pick and roll. With 25 minutes versus teams in the bottom 11, he is over in 13 of his 16 games, averaging 29.5 points. Okay. Yeah, he's been going under his points prop, Adam, but over on his rebounds and assists. So yeah, I did look into that. Tariq says, nice. Knicks have a bounce back today. If I was the owner, I'll demand it. Demand him to bounce back. Justin says, going to look into Josh Hart over his rebounds just after the show. I think like that look. Yeah, he should get there. He should get there. The number was, I think, 13.5 last night, Adam. Hornets are terrible at guarding the center. I like Cat props today, DJ Prop says. Appreciate you, Raekwon. Quinn says, where did y'all find Cat at -130? -137 is available on, where is this line? Oh, that looks like it's on Prize Picks too, just FYI, my fault. So yeah, I don't know where 130, you got to find it, Quinn. I'm not going to look at it right now. Let's move over to the next one. We got the Bulls that won me some money last night. They will be in Sacktown tonight, taking on the Kings. This line is moving from 6.5 to 7. Sacramento got an outright win last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers without Zach LaVine. And the Chicago Bulls lost last night by 6 in Phoenix. So second leg of a back-to-back for both teams. Josh Giddey was the first report said that Josh Giddey wasn't going to play in both games. That's what Coach Billy Donovan said. Then last night after the game, he said that Josh Giddey may play. So we'll see if Josh Giddey plays. Sabonis will continue to be out. No idea if Zach LaVine is actually going to play. He was ruled out late in that game last night for personal reasons. So you got both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. If you like the Bulls, you like that they are 8-2. I'm sorry, 9-1 against the spread last night. If you got the late line on the Bulls, that line opened at 7. It closed at 5.5, and they did not cover that late line. So they are 7-3 in one universe. 9-1 ATS in one universe before last night in their last 10 games. Sacramento also 3-10 against the spread when they're playing unrested. Chicago is a team that attacks the mid-range a lot lately and the paint. The Sacramento Kings have struggled to guard both of those shot zones. Sacramento 3-point defense has actually been pretty bad as well. And we know that the Bulls want to jack up a bunch of threes. I know that the Cleveland Cavaliers, they shoot the ball really, really well from the 3-point line. Yesterday, I think I saw that Strus and Donovan Mitchell combined to go 2 for 10. The Bulls on the second leg of a back-to-back, I do think that they'll be able to knock down some shots. That's my case for the Bulls. If you like Sacramento, you like that Chicago is only 2-8 straight up and against the spread playing unrested this season. The 2 wins did come when their opponents were also unrested as well. They're 2-2 straight up and against the spread if they and their opponents are both unrested. Sacramento is a really hard team for me to gauge. I know I'm not laying 7 points with them. So I guess if, proverbial gun to my head, I guess I'd be taking Chicago plus the points again. This line is moving to 7 though. So maybe you get a better number later. I just think the Bulls are going to continue to play hard. Sacramento is not a team, in my opinion, that I want to be laying a lot of points with, even, with them not having to travel. I think the Bulls can keep this one close. Also, remember, I know that the Bulls defense didn't look good last night, but remember that the Bulls are it went to yesterday's game as the second-rated defensive team over the last 5 games. So I think that they should be able to keep this one within the number. As you can tell, I don't have a lot of notes on the game. I'm not really interested in betting it, if I'm being honest. Just giving you guys my thoughts. Sacramento is a team that's lived in the mid-range. as well. We talked about that yesterday. Number one in frequency and accuracy last 5 games. Chicago has struggled with that shot zone specifically. So maybe a look towards the over, like jaXon said as well. This total was at 234. It's back up to 235, opened at 236. So probably a look towards the over more so than the actual side. But yeah, DeRozan is an older guy. I think on the second leg of a back-to-back, we can see some of those mid-range shots maybe not fall. So I'd be looking at Chicago plus the points, the over, and those are the 2 ways that I'll probably be looking. Let's see what we're thinking about this one. Justin played the Bulls team total at 113.5. Took the over. Let's see what that Bulls team total is right now. Chicago, 113.5, minus 115 on bet. 365. It's 114.5 on ESPN bet. Got to shop around, get the best number. Adam says, my heart can't take another Bulls bet. I'm going to take the Kings. Tariq says, I'm on the over. I think it's an over game as well. I'm not expecting too much defense from either one of these teams. LJ says, let's not be greedy with the Bulls. We cashed last night, barely. You know, the crazy thing is, though, LJ, if I had just been blindly betting the Bulls, I'd be up so much money. I just stay away from them because when they played good defense for 5 games in a row, look what happened last night. The Suns scored 150,000 points last night. But if you just been taking the Bulls and saying, you know what, this team sucks, but they always find a way to make money, you're making a lot of money. If I go 9 for 10, I'm happy every 10 bets. So yeah, I understand, but it's not the first time the Bulls covered. They covered against your Rockets the other day. And then who did they play after that? They played somebody. Oh, they went into Utah, covered that game as a favorite. So they just keep covering. Just keep covering. I do like the over if I'm playing, Jose, not with the under. Brian says he'll take the +6 with the Bulls because Sacramento minus 6.5 is an auto fade, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back. Yeah, the Kings are the worst home ATS team, I think. So at home, they are 11. They're 12 and 18 against the number 40%. And as a home favorite, they are 11 and 13 against the number 45.8% are the Sacramento Kings. Is what my numbers tell me right now. No idea if Zach LaVine is going to play. Fear Lee says someone 3-point prop from Chicago since Sacramento isn't so good guarding the 3-point ball. Yeah, somebody, who knows who it's going to be, but somebody for the Bulls. They all shoot a bunch of threes. Brian likes the Nets. What's up, Brian? I like the Nets as well. Didn't bet it yet, but I do like the Nets. All right, moving over. We got 2 more games to get through. The Raptors in the Golden State Warriors. This line opened with the Warriors laying 12.5 points. It's now up to 14. The total open 237.5. It's come all the way crashing down to 226.5. So the total has gone down a lot. It's actually come back up now to 226.5. But I do see 220. Yes, 226.5 is like consensus. So we got the Raptors playing, what is this? Last of a 4-game road trip. Is it a spot that they run out of gas? I'm not sure. They are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. They did already list out RJ Barrett. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. So RJ Barrett is out. Grady Dick is out. No Brandon Ingram. Jacoby Waters is game time decision. Jakob Poeltl is also listed as game time decision as well. So Jacoby Waters did not play in that last game, and then Jakob Poeltl, I want to say he did play, right? Let's see. No, he did not play against the Suns either. They got smoked against the Suns the other day, and that's what it comes down to. We'll see if he plays in this game. I think the Toronto ability to be able to keep this game within 14 is, in my opinion, highly dependent upon if Jakob Poeltl plays the game, because you need to be good somewhere. And I think that Toronto is really going to struggle to score the basketball in this game. So I actually was looking at this game when I was capping it. I was looking at it over on Moneyballer, and I want to take you guys over with me. So let's go on this quick little field trip over to Moneyballer. There's a 7-day free link trial in the description of the video. So we look at some of the situational stuff here. I mean, I'm sorry, not 50% off promo in the description if you use the referral code. So you look at the Raptors, it says well rested, 2 days of rest or more. They do have the rest advantage. The Warriors playing 3rd game in 4 nights, also 4th game in 6 nights. They're coming off a win as a dog against who did they beat in their last game? They beat the Milwaukee Bucks as a dog without Steph. And they lost to the Raptors earlier when they played in Toronto. You can see that game here. I think I was on Golden State. They lost that game 104-101 in Toronto. He was laying 8 points in that game. Lost the game. No, I'm sorry. They were laying 5 points. They lost the game by 3. So, and that game went under the total, way under 25.5 points. You can see that number right here as well. So, like I said, last game of a 4-game road trip. Golden State doesn't have to travel. They will continuously be at home. No, I'm sorry. Last game of a 7-game homestand right here for Golden State. I put that in my notes. Only 4-5-1 against the spread in their last 10 games as well. So I was looking at the under in this game. And like I said, the total has already dropped a lot. I do think it's still the right side. You can see Golden State here. First half, they are 13-6-1 to the under. The Raptors also struggling to score the basketballs, 13-7 to the 13-7 to the under in the first half. Look at these team totals. The Warriors first half really struggled recently, 16-3-1 the first half. The Raptors also 14-6 to the under in the first half. The Golden State Warriors with a rest disadvantage, 6-0 to the first half under. And all these are just the last 20 games. So when you look at the last 10 games, we can update this to last 10 games. I think the numbers get even stronger for under. 2-7-1 for the Warriors, 7-3 to the under, 9-1 to the under are the Warriors on their first half team total. And it kind of feels like the Raptors, if we go back up here and look at the Raptors' last 10 games, they are playing a little bit of defense. Look at this. They are 6th in defensive efficiency. The Warriors are 5th in defensive efficiency. The Raptors are struggling to score the basketball, 27th in offensive rating. Last 5 games, I think they're 29th in offensive rating. And then the Warriors' offense is 11th. So will the Toronto Raptors be able to slow down this Golden State offense is what the question comes down to, because we are expecting the game to be played at a relatively slow pace. The Raptors, and it says that they're 9th in pace, but their offensive efficiency is pretty bad. And then the Warriors are 15th in pace. They just kind of play at the pace of their opponents, it feels like, when I've been watching them play recently. So we look at Toronto's defense, right? Let's just do this live. We look at the Toronto Raptors defense recently. The Golden State Warriors shooting a ton of threes, number 1 in corner 3 frequency, 4th in overall 3 frequency, and 5th in 3-point accuracy. They are also a team that's attacking the rim. Toronto's been really good against guarding teams at the rim and in the paint, but they are allowing a lot of threes. The 3rd most threes is what Toronto is allowing, and but they're defending it well. 13th against the above the break 3, holding teams to about 34%, and 35% overall is what teams are shooting, which is 11 in the last 10 games. So I think, if I'm being honest, I think we missed the best of the number. The best of the number was the under, and I didn't see it when it opened last night. I probably would have jumped in on the under in this game. Total opened way too high. Also, if RJ Barrett off the floor, I think the Toronto Raptors offense has an offensive rating of like 105. So I do think that they're going to struggle to score. I do think the game will be played a little bit slower. With the total coming down this low, though, I can't play it. So I guess I probably should have got to the party a little earlier on this one. I did not. So therefore, I am off for the game. I think the under is the right play. Don't want to lay this many points with Golden State, but also feel like Toronto could absolutely run out of gas here, get steamrolled in this game. So I'll easily sit on the sideline this one, root you guys on if it's something that you like. Trey Jones has been hooping. Look at his PA. Yeah, I saw that, Markel. I think he had 20 and 14 in his last game. Lindy was talking about it when I did the Cal show on Monday. So yeah, could be a potential Trey Jones game depending on his matchup. Justin says, when the Kings are on back-to-back, opponent team totals over are very profitable. Can't remember where I heard it. Okay. Warriors at home, say less. What's up, Ken? Says, morning, fellas. Cavs killing me. Yeah, it's a good time to get off the Cavs right now. All of those ATS trends are being burnt right now. LJ says, check Raptors first quarter. Last 10 been profitable. Okay. 18.5 for Jimmy. Drop it down. Says, love the under here. Did we lose too many points, though, Downs? I think so. I don't want to touch it at 226.5. Don't want to touch it at 226.5. Not when I know that it opened at 237.5. And then it went all the way down to 230.5. All this happened yesterday at 6:45. And I don't know what I was doing. Probably eating dinner or something. Let's see. Vegas begging for the Raptors money line. I don't know about that. Tariq says Warriors team total over. Think they'll be able to score. Moneyballer is not just NBA, DCD nerd. It's all of it, actually. Everything that you put here. It got MLB, NFL. I think it'll be WNBA as well. They got all of it. Brian says Raptors early, but 13.5. It's a big number. I'd rather have the points in my pocket. I agree. It's hard to. I don't want the Warriors minus 14 though, especially coming off that big win against the Bucks the other day. It's still 3rd and 4, 4th and 6. I think Toronto defense. I kind of think that they're a defensive team, especially when they're resting some of those other guys. I don't look at the young players that Toronto is trying to develop. I don't think any of those guys are offensive players. That's just my thought. Adam says he did lay the big chalk. Yeah, they don't care about covering. Maybe not even care about winning right now. 3rd straight loss. Resting Garland last night. All right, last game on the board. We got the Bucks and my Lakers. This line open. I think I saw 2. I wrote 2.5 in my notes last night. Looks like it opened 1.5, and now it's up to 4. The money has come in on the Bucks to take my Lakers down, man. To take my Lakers down. This total opened 227.5, and it's come down to 225.5. So we got the Bucks coming off a couple really bad losses. Matter of fact, let's go straight back to Moneyballer. What I talked about yesterday when I did Cal's show, I didn't know that they weren't going to play. I did like that team total under for the Denver Nuggets, but they ended up getting rolled out. The Lakers took care of the Denver Nuggets last night and got a little revenge, man. They won 2 games against the Denver Nuggets in the same season. We haven't been able to say that in quite a while, even though they were short-handed. So this is a terrible spot for the Lakers. You can see it here. Starting with the Bucks, though, they do have the rest advantage, bounce back spot coming off the loss against the Warriors. And 4th game in 6 nights, so could be a potential fatigue spot as far as rest. They have been traveling a lot. You can see their last 10 games. They were at home against the Bucks, at home against the Pacers, went on the road to Golden State. Now they're in LA. Got a day off before they play against Sacramento. For the Lakers, terrible spot here. Look at this. 2nd leg of back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 nights. In-season revenge, double-digit in-season revenge because they did get smoked by the Bucks last week. And it's also 5th game in 7 nights. A spot that I'm never really wanting to bet on. We come down here. We see that matchup, Lakers lost by 20 in that game last week. That game did go, under? No, it went over by 6 points. And that total was 226. So got a little bit of a lower total. Makes sense. And I just like the Lakers defense at home. So we look at last 10 games. I do think that, if you can slow down Giannis, you really just, relying on other teams to knock down 3-pointers. And Lakers 3-point defense, I feel like, has been pretty solid. You can see both of these teams ATS wise have been pretty good. 70% for both teams. Both teams kind of over under about the same. These are just the last 10 games numbers as well. Lakers, I know LJ always talking about that first quarter. You can see first half, they're also 6-4 against the number. It feels like a game that the Bucks should come out and want to establish themselves early, but I don't think the Lakers are just going to lay down and roll over for the Bucks just because they're playing, in this game. So I guess based the way I look at the game, I kind of think a first half under spot would be the best. I do expect the Bucks to be locked in defensively. I expect the Lakers to be locked in defensively and to be able to keep the game close at least early in this one. When I look over at the Milwaukee Bucks, especially in that last game, that was a game that Luka went crazy in. I think he has another big game today, of course. They don't have a defender that's going to be able to guard Luka Doncic. So big game last night for Luka. I see that happening again as long as he plays in the second leg of the back-to-back. We also got to remember that he missed the Dallas game. So I think it's a nice spot for Luka to go up and over his points prop. As far as Giannis, I mean, Lakers going to have to, double team a lot. Maybe a look towards Kyle Kuzma to go over his props today. I didn't play it last game. I played the under last game. And you could tell that the Golden State Warriors were kind of locked in on making somebody else beat them. And that was Kyle Kuzma. So Kyle Kuzma's probably going to be that guy again. I think the Lakers have pretty good defenders to throw at Damian Lillard. And even though he's coming off a bad game, could be a bounce back spot. I don't think I'll be betting on Dame today either. So this line, guess what I think is probably under. Yeah, probably under is what I'm thinking in this game. Yeah, I'll go under. I'll go under if I'm putting anything up for myself. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Who knows if Luka's actually gonna play? LJ says under 226. Bucks off for losses to the under. Cash last game. Brian says Lakers trifecta. I'm not gonna jump off yet. Let's go. We have been making money out here. They have. Lakers been cashing, especially at home. The Lakers on a 9-game winning streak at home. They've held, I think, 7 of those 9 opponents under their team total. DJ Props just give me the over. What up to my guy Fred? Rock with the under 226 last night. Chase VCU plus 3.5. Liberty plus 8.5. Know you rock with it. One of those hidden. Shout out to my VCU Rams, man. Some more VCU love. Luka 30 plus. I like that. Just not gonna take the points tonight and see what happens. Yeah, it's a game where like I think the Lakers early try to keep it close. I don't know what's gonna happen for the full game, but I think early they do keep it close. Yeah, those are the thoughts here, man. Those are the thoughts here. Jose says Lakers tonight. We'll see. We shall see. I'll look a little bit deeper into the game, but I kind of didn't want to waste my time not knowing if Luka was gonna play, if I'm being honest. So lean towards the under, especially if Luka doesn't play. I think it's definitely a game that goes under. And then got to look at Austin Reeves props. Got to look at Austin Reeves props if Luka doesn't play. So those are my thoughts there. As far as I didn't write anything on the recap yet. I like Zaire Williams over 11.5 points. I would also be playing Brooklyn plus the 9 if I'm playing that game. New York, Charlotte, I like Josh Hart over 15.5 rebounds and assists if I'm playing that game. Chicago and Sacramento, I like over. You can get 233 right now and a half. Looks like that total is dropping. Toronto, Golden State. I'm gonna lean Toronto plus the 14. I don't want to lay that many points. I think I missed the best of the number with the under as well. So I'll stay off the total in that game. And I won't put anything up here for the Lakers. I haven't made a bet yet today. Nothing I bet. But if I am betting, these are the ways that I'm looking based on my research here. And it's back to a big slate tomorrow. So I'll jump into tomorrow's slate. Probably have some official looks for you guys tomorrow on the show. But I don't really love the slate too much today. Just kind of wanted to come on here and talk it out with you all. Hopefully it was helpful. Resources, as always, are here. Check them out. jaXon likes the over between the Bulls and the Kings, which I agree with that. Outlier, Moneyballer, Odds Jam, all those good things. Check them out if you're interested. Also, yeah, Brooklyn early, first quarter potential look there as well. They are the best first quarter ATS team on the road this season and in general. So check that out. Best of luck on all your action. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm out.